Welcome to the Transparent FX Academy. I'm Nick and I'm a top author training you with over 190k reputation points. In this video, I'll speak about EURUSD. And as usual, to keep the video as educational as possible, first I'll cover the technical aspect for this market. Then we will be moving to the order flow by looking at the commitment of traders, which is what the big players in the market are doing and how they're moving and shifting their orders, which you see right here. And by the end of the video, by using the combination of these two different types of analysis, we will try to understand where we have the highest probabilities for the next potential move here for this pair. So this is definitely a video you do not want to miss. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. Starting here from the monthly time frame, what we can see is that we have a market which is currently testing and rejecting to the upside a quite strong historical monthly demand and support level. In fact, from here, what we can notice is that all these rejections to the upside were created. Every time the market tested this zone, it got rejected to the upside quite aggressively. And what we can notice at the moment is that the market is testing and rejecting to the upside the exact same level, fueled by strong institutional buying. And we will be speaking about the institutional buying in just a few moments when we move to the commitment of traders analysis. But for now, let's keep all of this in mind and drop down on the weekly time frame. Now, from a weekly perspective, the first thing that we can notice is that we had a perfect inversion of trend. The market went from the creation of weekly lower lows and lower highs. We then had, as an inversion pattern, this double bottom created exactly at this zone. And now the market has inverted to the creation of weekly higher highs and higher lows. So perfect inversion of trend with a double bottom being the inversion pattern of the trend. We can also notice that from a pattern standpoint, we have a strong impulse followed by a correction. Now, after an impulse, if you want to measure the correction, you have to take your Fibonacci from the low to the high of the impulse leg. And if we do that, we can see how we have the 0.32 and 50% retracements, which are lining up perfectly with this previous level of supply and resistance from which all this trend to the downside actually developed. This means that now that the market has broken the level to the upside and is retesting it, this previous supply and resistance is now turned support and demand. Because what we know is that in the market, previous resistance, once it is broken to the upside, becomes support. And we can see that the market has already started rejecting it to the upside, therefore has started reacting to this area as strong demand and support, inside of which there is good probability of seeing more institutional longing. Again, we will be speaking about the institutional positioning in just a few moments. For now, let's keep all of this in mind and drop down on the daily time frame. Now, from a daily perspective, I did speak about EURUSD just a few days ago when the market was at this level and explained all the reasons for which I was expecting this rejection to the upside. And by the way, I will link that previous analysis in the description so you can go and check it out for more free education. But before we go into more details here from a technical perspective on daily time frame, first, let's go and see what we have when it comes to the commitment of traders. So what the big players in the market are doing on the euro. Now, keep in mind that if we're looking at the euro, we're actually already looking at EURUSD because all currencies on the spot are traded against the USD. And what we can see is that we went here from 51k up to 79k net positions. And if we look even further back, we can see how we actually had a negative net positioning not much time ago, here with minus 64k net positions. Now, minus 64k net positions means that institutions have more shorts than longs, with 230,000 shorts compared to only 165,000 longs. Now we have the complete opposite, so a positive net positioning with institutions having more longs than shorts, precisely 204k longs compared to 124k shorts. So this signals an inversion of a sentiment from an institutional perspective on EURUSD from bearish to bullish, as a rejection also away from that historical demand and support zone that we have identified at the beginning of the video. So let's keep all of this in mind and move back to the chart. And by the way, if you still haven't, make sure that you join my free Telegram channel, which you find linked in description, so you never miss new updates. Now back to the analysis. So here on the daily time frame, at the moment, the market is testing important structure. This zone was previous daily resistance, which the market broke to the upside, is now turned support here and support here. Until the market will remain above this level, more institutional longing could be expected, which could bring this price higher. So if we continue to see institutions increase their net positions, what would I expect? Well, as usual, and as my students know very well, trading is reactive and not predictive. The monthly, weekly, and daily time frames combined with the COT data, those are the best time frames when it comes to the directional aspect of the market. However, when it comes to identifying early shifts in the trend of a market, the best time frames for that are the intraday time frames, so 4 hour and lower. Therefore, what I would expect is that if this market would shift from an intraday bearish to a bullish market, at that point, I wouldn't be surprised to see a potential rejection to the upside away from the strong demand and support zone. That definitely wouldn't surprise me. All this free education and analysis that you see me share on YouTube is actually just the tip of the iceberg. If you want to learn more, I really suggest that you head over to the website linked in description, and you will be brought to my website here. I really put together the best trading program on the planet. You can gain access to all my courses from the really basics of charting to the more advanced topics like building portfolios of automated strategies using the MQL programming languages, building portfolios of strategies, and much, much more. You have the possibility to gain access to the trading station software with the Telegram notification integrations, one-on-one mentoring directly with me, the COT data software, which often you see me use in my free analysis. And this is our all-in-one program. So you gain access to everything immediately. You gain access to all my EAs. So essentially you have access to my strategies, which you can then personalize to your own preferences. You gain access to the trading show. And here you basically can see the presentation of each and every one of my EAs. So each and every one of my strategies, which you will have access to. You gain access to the trading show, which is essentially a live stream of all trades as they're happening on my account. So opened, closed, managed, everything in real time. And if you continue to scroll down past the testimonials, you will see that you have the possibility to join and gain automatically access with the email and password that you will create during the sign up process. So I really suggest that you go and check it out. The link is in the description, and I will see you in it. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to click on the like button. Also, let me know in the comments below any new pairs that you would like me to cover in my next videos. Also, any questions you have, leave them in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss new updates, and I will see you in my next video.